Welcome on the Deadwoodjedi. I know it's been a while, but I'm here to talk about a newish game called King Arthur Legends Rise. It's a game that I was actually able to kind of play test about a year and a half ago, and I really enjoyed it then. I thought I had a lot of interesting mechanics and really cool ideas, and I'm very excited to check it out today because now I get to see the full fleshed out version of this game. I've been playing it for a day or two already, and I have to say I'm very impressed because, like I said, there's some really interesting mechanics going on. Now, before we get in too deep, I do want to just remind you guys, if you are all interested in this game, I highly recommend checking it out. There's a link in the pinned comment and description of this video. Please go check it out. This game is actually really fun, especially if you're into strategy RPGs like Raid Shadow Legends, like Summoner's War, and there's a whole bunch of other ones out there that you guys have been playing. This is definitely one of those ones you should be checking out. It's not just beautiful visually, which it absolutely is. It's not just great mechanically, which it absolutely is, but it's also got a really cool and interesting story centering around that Arthurian legend that we all kind of grew up and are familiar with. But what I thought I'd do today is kind of take you through just a little bit of the gameplay, give you a sense of what's going on. Now, you go to the Lady of the Lake. This is where you can summon some champions, which is always a good time. We'll pull one here just to get us kind of started into the game. But yeah, we got to pull Excalibur, and depending on how good that pull is, we did. We got a rare champion. You can see because of the blue. Now, there's no epics or anything. It's just rares, legendaries. Those are the top two tiers. So this is actually a great pull for us. I'm very happy about that. Very exciting. It's a new champion that I didn't have before. So that worked out really nicely. Of course, going into stuff, there are going to be a bunch of dungeons. So like right now, I know we need a little bit more gold. So I figured we'd go take on Gorgos here real quick. And then there's a new area that just opened up. I'm really excited to try it out. So we'll go check that out right after. So here we go. I've got my team of 4. Now I do have a variety of different champions I could be plugging in here. I don't necessarily want to take Arthur out. He's kind of, one of those mainstay type champions, but yeah, I think we'll keep him in there, just kind of see how it goes. But this is a pretty offensive based kind of group here. It's very early in the game. So like team composition stuff isn't as important, but you can see like the graphics on this guy are pretty insane. We can kind of come in here and choose what skills we want to use. Now, this A2 is kind of an AoE skill. I don't think we need that. In fact, I'm going to go ahead and just turn that off. And one of the cool things is how accessible the skill order is right here. So I'm just going to go 1, 2, right? Basically, just don't use that ability. I'm going to do the same thing here with K, turn off her AoE ability. And these guys all have different single target damage skills. So those work really good. But since we're just facing the boss, I figured the AoE skills aren't that important. And then you can see down here, this is our vigor bar where we have like 5 vigor points, and you have to use vigor when you're using a skill. So first off, you can see he's got a left arm here. We got to take out the arm. First thing we're going to do, take out the arm. I'm going to click the icon up there, but you can click obviously on the map here if you wanted to. We can always get a more dynamic view. That's always a little bit more fun. Let's go with Arthur. Let's have him do a big old shot here on that arm as well. Boom. And the graphics are really good. They kind of remind me of like games like Baldur's Gate, honestly. Just very, very realistic, much more dynamic than you find in a lot of these games. Here we go. Let's use that ability on that skill. And the left arm's almost down. That's going to be really good for us. Now you can see we're almost out of vigor. So what do we want to use? Our A1. That's actually going to fill our vigor bar up. So every time we get another turn, it fills up. Every time we use our A1 skill, it fills up. So it really does offer a lot of flexibility as far as like what skills you want to use. Boom, arm is down. We've chopped it off. And at this point, I'm just going to click auto. I'm just going to let it go on its own. And everybody's going to use those skills. Now we did set up the skill thing, right? So none of the AoE skills will get used as it goes. And it's just kind of auto thing. When we have enough vigor for a big skill, we'll use it. When we don't, we'll use our A1 and build up more vigor along the way. But that's kind of a unique ability, that vigor thing, limiting the skills that you can use and like figuring out which champions you're going to want to use the big skills on, which ones you're going to want to use the baby skills to grow it on. I think that's a big part of the strategy here. We can make it a lot of fun. Oh, wait. Oh, did you guys notice? It just got dark on the screen. It just got dark on the screen because there are things called environmental effects, which basically means that sometimes it's nighttime and sometimes it's day. You can see that right up here in the corner. It's night and it's hot. there's certain champions are going to prefer certain environmental effects. I have a couple guys here that prefer rainy weather, and a couple of people that prefer daytime, and one person that prefers night. So this is definitely, going to be a challenge for us. I don't know how well we're gonna do necessarily with this. But yeah, that's kind of a cool little thing too, where depending on the grouping that you have, that's gonna matter. Also, I should point out, everybody has these energy, like affinity type stuff, I would say. I'm not sure what the technical term of it is, but basically they have an element that they're really strong with and that they use for their attacks and stuff. Those elements, you can see we got some gold, we got some energy. That's what this one is for, is to get that. There's also another dungeon in here. It's a little bit more, it's for like leveling up your champions. That's this Plains of Beasts. Some for relics, some are for awakening relics. So you have these kind of specified dungeons, which is pretty cool. But you have all these different equipment dungeons, right? A whole bunch of places you can go with stuff. What I want to check out is this forbidden dungeon, and when we get in here, I'll talk about those elements and relics and stuff. But yeah, one of the things we can do here, actually, let's go ahead and jump in here, is let's look at our champions. So I can take a quick look. So like I got Morgan here, who's pretty freaking awesome, I would say. Legendary champion. I was lucky to be able to pull her. But one of the interesting things is everybody has these relics, and these relics are going to be different elementals, right? So we have storm, we have ice, and we have fire. And basically you can collect all three for every single one of your champions. It doesn't matter who, they all have these different abilities, but you have to collect the relics separately. So it's kind of this cool thing of like a champion within a champion, right? And each one of them offers different skills. So like for, what is this? Arthur. This is Arthur right here with Excalibur. His fire ability, right? It's an Inferno Strike, but if he changes it to the rare, the ice one, it becomes a Regal Roar ability, or Chilling Conviction, right? And that provides a different kind of attack. His storm ability, Breath of Diana, becomes Storm Blow. So you can see, depending on the relic you use, you can actually alter the way your champion works, which I think is really interesting. And just provides a little bit of variety when you're trying to figure out, like, how do I want to, use these champions in one way or another. So we're going to go ahead and bring these four back in here, my main grouping, and we're going to try and check out this dungeon. Now, this dungeon is kind of like, it's got a bunch of different floors, kind of like a Doom Tower thing. And so as we go through each floor, it's going to get harder. We're going to get better rewards. And I had just unlocked it, so I'm actually kind of excited to see how this goes. And this is pretty cool, I think you can see here. So it looks like we're facing waves of enemies. Maybe it's just one wave. Maybe later on it grows. I've faced different stages in this game where there are multiple waves. I've faced stages where it's just one wave. Faced stages where there's a boss, but he's got multiple appendages you got to knock out first. That's actually kind of a fun little thing. And even with the boss having stages of their development as well. So there's definitely a variety of mechanics that make the gameplay interesting. And I really do love this idea of both, the environment having an impact, the element of having an impact, depending on the relic that you're using. So there's definitely a lot of potential interactions here that can make it very fun. So we cleared it. We cleared floor 1. Not a problem. We'll just move on to the next stage and see how that goes. And basically just go as far as we can. I mean, the graphics, look at those graphics. To me, these graphics are the best of any of these types of strategic RPGs I've played. Now, I mean, to me, it feels like I'm watching Baldur's Gate, like a very realistic, very, high-end PC kind of game. And this is a PC client that I'm playing on. So you don't just have to play on mobile. You can play on PC as well. But that's one of the things that's, I think, so nice about this is that there is such a great visual aspect to this game. There's also a huge story where you're going through the campaign. They have an adventure mode. So there's definitely a lot of story stuff going on here. I have to say, I played a lot of these games. Obviously I play Raid all the time. But this is definitely one of the best games I've played. It's got the ability to be one of my favorites with just the way the gameplay works. So it's definitely something that if you are at all interested in the strategic RPG element, and of course you are because that's why you're watching my channel, why you're watching my video, you should definitely check this out. It's, nothing's for everybody, but this one I think is going to appeal to a lot of you. King Arthur Legends Rise is a really, really interesting game. I think there's a lot of fun to be had with it, and I definitely recommend giving it a shot. There's a link in the pinned comment and description of this video, so go check it out. Don't miss out on King Arthur's Legends Rise. Join the Arthurian legend. Be part of the story itself. Craft it how you will. get Merlin. I mean, that's fun in and of itself, right? Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Just a quick little overview, quick little display. We're going to do a couple more videos this month, kind of going a little bit more in depth, talking about some of the mechanics so that if you are playing, you get a little bit of an edge on how to go about beating the game. Anyway, guys, thanks so much for watching. Until next we meet, I'm the Deadwood Jedi.